How's everybody doing on this fantastic? Is it Thursday? Thursday night.
Yeah, I just woke up from like a 4-hour coma. We
Wow.
got home. We took the kids out for ice cream, and I ate way too much, and I passed out. It's quite awful.
Let's recap our characters very quickly. So we have our stoic leader, and his name is Bindlestaff. He's right there in front, petting his dog with his little bindle stick on his shoulder. Mutt gave him a dog because he has the need to draw dogs and everything. I think he's kind of a hobo drifter, and he doesn't know his own power. He's trapped in the body of Mutt. Yeah.
No, that's not my body.
I like it.
The wrists are too big.
He's been begging around the world for decades. Actually, I've just typed like some strange notes in here. Buffalo Phil awakens him and breaks his curse. He now knows who he is, and he uses his hobo spell. But he uses his hobo spells and turns into full wizard when it's time to fight. So he's kind of like just a hobo most of the time, and then when it's time to fight, he does the Gandalf like you shall not pass, and then he turns into full on hobo wizard. Okay.
And I think the wolf. I think his dog should become like some kind of a battle wolf or some kind of.
He's like Battle Cat from He-Man.
Yeah, there you go. Basically, you can see the markings on his staff. That is because
arcane markings.
Yeah, that's a magic staff. I think he should be a Celtic shaman, probably.
Okay.
Cool. Just to give him a little bit of a color in the background, and then basically, he has been battling the forces of evil for a long time, and he got stuck inside that spell, like you said.
Yeah.
But now he uses that
persona
to kind of move around without people knowing who he is or what he's doing.
I still think his bag, he should be able to like pull anything out of his bag.
He's got tricks. He's got tricks in that bag. Yeah.
He can pull rabbits out of them. Yeah. Other than rabbits?
No, something more serious.
A never-ending scarf he can pull out.
A never-ending scarf.
One of the main things he does is he takes a rope and it looks like it's cut, but it's not really cut.
But it's not cut.
They don't know what to do with it.
He's got two rings that look connected.
Can he put a cigarette through like a playing card and then pull it out?
Yeah, while it's lit.
While it's lit. Yeah. Let's move on to the heavy hitter. That's the female character, which is known as Saison, or French for season. Crash landed alien from an alien spaceship. She has powers that are affected by the season. So whatever season she's in,
climate
too, right? We don't have too much backstory on that fine-looking lady.
She's so fine.
She is so fine.
There's no telling where the money went.
And then we have our mystic Buffalo Phil. So Buffalo Phil is the kabuki mask, and it's kind of
spirit. He's a spirit.
Yeah, but is manifest in that kabuki mask, and it's kind of riding and using that corpse like an Iron Man costume and fighting like a fleshy Iron Man costume.
Bindlestaff has a bit of a conflict of morality.
Yeah,
where he has to keep giving this guy fresh bodies to.
Yeah.
So he potentially kills drifters. We're not really sure.
His fellow drifters.
Fellow drifters. That's right. They're all standing.
His community.
They're all standing around the trash can fire, and he gives them some like schnapps or something, and then when they get drunk enough, he kills them.
COVID is like Christmas for him.
Yeah, right. You think he has a place he can put them on ice for a while, so Buffalo Phil has some freshies ready to go? Maybe he has like a refrigerator truck in his bag.
Oh, it's like the Doctor Who thing.
Yeah. And he can just like go in there and get the refrigerator truck and put
it's just like millions of floating bodies in there.
So we got patient 0. He was infected with like a nice version of 19.
Yeah.
He can absorb sickness.
Swallow.
it. Swallow that.
So there's certain words.
What word?
It's out of the way. No. Don't try to trick me because I'll screw it up. We can't say certain words on this stream because I said a certain word. We can't say it this time, so we had to change our name. But the Drifters is what we came up with. I like it.
This is some 1984 nonsense right here. Yeah.
So we landed with this super team called the Drifters. We talked about how they're misfit group brought together through a halfway house of some sort. They all have their problems and issues, and they're all strangely combined with one another to form this new super team. Got this very strange guy right here called Patient Zero. And without saying the words, he was infected by a super strain of
germs, bad germs.
Yes.
Yeah, to treat it like you're talking to your kids. I had to tell my kids everything. Like, oh, there's bad germs out there.
He has a 6 feet radius around him, which no one can get very close to. He has these cool and very effective nunchucks, which he uses to defeat his foes. And he can absorb and cast out as a weapon different forms of sicknesses. What have I missed?
Are the nunchucks effective? Aren't they within the 6 foot radius?
I can't remember what we said the name was of the dog.
Finbar.
Finbar, that's right. Yeah.
Finbar.
And so the cool thing about Finbar is that nobody can hear him or know like he's able to like verbalize anything except for Bindlestaff. And
Yes.
the dog talks to him, but the team thinks he's crazy because he talks to the dog like a person. Finbar the dog is like probably the smartest person on the team, but nobody knows it except Bindlestaff.
I like the idea of Bindlestaff hears them, but like the dog gives great advice, but he's always like, whatever, you're just a dog.
Yeah.
We should have it so in their back in his prior life or whatever, he actually put a curse on the dog so nobody could hear him because he was threatened by him. He kept showing him up. So
So good.
Yeah, that's really good. There is Short Fuse. Short Fuse is a small person.
Good terminology. Nice.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm trying to clean.
You're growing as a person.
I'm trying to clean up my act. He is a genius with when it comes to machinery. But we decided last week that he would be a person who would kind of put rubbish together.
He's like Oscar the Grouch, except he can build like mechs and crazy machines out of them.
Yeah. He can with a toaster and a refrigerator. He can build a small mech device. Homeless Forge. Yeah, a midget homeless forge.
Little person.
Sorry, a small homeless. Oscar the Grouch.
Why is it I'm the behaved one this week? What is going on here?
I can't remember the name of our speedster.
Hold on, I got it.
Weezer. Thank you.
Weezer.
Yeah, asthmatic. He's our asthmatic speedster, so and he can run very, very fast for very small periods of time.
You know, if he runs a mile, it will affect him as though he ran a mile. So he will be incredibly winded and maybe won't even make it the full mile while he's going super fast.
It's very valuable in a team for about 30 seconds to a minute. We're going to kind of jump back in the assignment of creating a villain.
Yeah.
So we had talked about our character Cezanne had a sister who was following her to Earth. Her sister's power would sort of be like Cezanne's power.
She could affect the weather.
Yes.
Cezanne was affected by weather.
So the initial thing that we discussed was that the sister of Cezanne was basically trying to kill her because she needed to kill her it was like a Highlander thing. She needed to kill her.
Yeah.
So that she could get her power and become the most powerful person in their race and therefore the rightful ruler. That's why she's so powerful. She's already killed like 3 or 4 of the other siblings. Right. Cezanne is probably somebody who really just wants peace. You know, like the reason she ran away and doesn't want to fight is because she just wants to be left alone. She becomes powerful by coming here, but she does not want to have to fight. And so I think that she could be a major character for the first story arc because it's her sister, but then she could go into the background. You could highlight another character, going forward pretty easily. Yeah, she's homeless because she left her planet.
Yeah, I like the idea that these guys are living in a halfway house. Maybe we need like an Aunt May type that is the caretaker of the halfway house.
Yeah.
If it's kind of like Team Mom and like make sure everybody's okay.
Can their headquarters be like a cardboard box that's like a
It's like a
telephone
Harry
booth?
Potter tent. You go into the cardboard box, and it's like this big room.
But it's like the whole place is just made of cardboard. Is the best you could.
It would be really funny if everything was still like refrigerator boxes and stuff, like had the labels on it and things like that.
Probably figure out why they're living together in the first place, but
I think they're bound to the halfway house. I think that's one good boundary. And maybe this caretaker person, maybe it's the caretaker person that binds them together.
Like the mom.
Yeah.
We should name her Aunt Jemima. And now that there's no Aunt Jemima of syrup.
we're free of copyright. Right?
It was nice. It was nice. I had a good time, guys. I really did.
Wendy Jemima.
Wendy Jemima.
Well, she could just be Wendy, and she's just like,
yeah,
she's just Wendy. You don't need to know anything about her other than that she like manages the halfway house that all these homeless superheroes live in.
Yeah.
Fine, it's just Wendy in the comic, but we know it's Wendy Jemima.
Margax, is that Margox?
Oh yeah, Margox. She gets mad. Everybody calls her Margot or something.
Yeah, her name is oh yeah, that's what it is. Are you drawing, Mutt, or are you like?
I am drawing. Yes.
Okay, cool. So we got
clipping his toenails right now.
Yeah, right. We got Bindle Staff. We got
Finbar has a heel turn, and
yeah, I was gonna say like Finbar is so distraught that nobody listens to him, and he has told everybody the entire book on how to defeat her. There's like a very like easy, like comically easy loophole to defeat her, and nobody listens to the whole thing, and they fight this whole fight, and then at the end he like, loses it.
If she gets more powerful as Cezanne gets weaker, right? So the battle could go on. There could be a moment where she is sort of like right at the edge of death, or right at the edge of losing her life and power source. And then Margox is at that point ultimately powerful, but not quite at her, final form, so to speak. Then something happens because of the amount of power that she's absorbed. The Earth fights against her and treats her like a virus of some kind and tries to destroy her.
If the Earth is treating her like a germ, then Patient Zero, doesn't he have the ability to heal sick things?
What if the Earth is getting damaged because of Margox, right? That's what's taking the power away from Cezanne. So Patient Zero is able to like absorb the pain or whatever it's doing to the Earth, and give Cezanne the power to combat her sister. Margox needs to have an answer for each one of our heroes in some way. The classic, we're stronger together.
She could probably short fuses, mechanics.
Weezer, what would he even be able to do against this lady? She like maybe gusts some wind in from like the deep south, and it's just full of pollen, and he just like can't breathe.
Oh, my asthma.
And he's
Wait,
like,
is he Jewish?
Hela.
And she can screw with the oxygen.
Yeah, sure, I'm sure.
Yeah. She's very powerful, but she really doesn't know what she can do in the Earth.
It's like a Man of Steel when the Kryptonians.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Bindle Staff and Finbar are doing their
Just fighting each other.
They're like they're arguing about lunch or something like that. For Buffalo Phil, she like heats him up or something, and like his corpse gets all bloaty and nasty or something. I don't know.
I mean, she could just keep freezing his bodies.
And he's pretty much useless, and he's like, "Dang it!" Bindle Staff bag. He'll pull out like just another body for Phil, and he's like, "Phil, don't let this one freeze."
We should call it his Bindle Sack, or is that a different thing?
Bindle Sack.
I like it.
I'm not sure about that. But you don't want me pulling out the Bindle Sack now, do you? I think it might be funny if he was kind of stuck in an old world mentality.
Thou shalt not.
Well, more like a Celt.
Top of the morning, children.
Old Celtic or Gaelic. You call it Gaelic?
I found the president of Ireland speaking in Gaelic.
Banachtaí na féle pádraig ar chlan mhór góndan na Gael, sa bhaile agus ar fut na crinne, ar lá náisiúnta ceir hen.
No one would ever
That'd be
understand
his
him if
voice.
he was.
Bet you back to little, can't you, sir? You look like a boxer.
Just the accent.
Margox.
I am Margox.
Like,
I like that elements are sort of like either making this web behind her.
Hmm.
You know, it's like
forming.
yeah, it's like forming from the elements of the earth. You know,
cool.
At first she could be kind of almost worried about her beauty, like she could be vain. You know, and that could be like a downfall, maybe. You know, like she's like Lucifer wants to enthrone herself on the earth, and it's her vanity is her downfall.
Yeah.
Yours was much deeper. I was thinking, like, remember in Aladdin when Jafar wants to be a genie?
But how do they? Okay, so like we've kind of discovered the ending, which is that she is defeated by the Earth with the focused effort of Patient Zero. Maybe we could pull a fastball special and have Cezanne throw Patient Zero up at her in the sky, just because I want to draw a fastball special.
That Patient Zero, it's like throw me into the atmosphere. Like I can fix this. They're like, no, you'll die. You'll die if you try to heal the earth. And he's like, no, I can do it.
I like the idea that she's like, you'll die, and then Buffalo Phil's getting like all excited that he's gonna have a new corpse.
Yeah.
No, Buffalo Phil should be disgusted by him, because if he was a body, he'd have the C word all over him. That's awful. That's awful.
Anybody watching not realizing why we're censoring ourselves is
Yeah.
We
Right.
can't.
why? Why would
We can't say the C
like
word.
what is his power again?
Yeah. Well, and like that was the whole thing. Like he tries to heal the earth by like absorbing the sickness or the plague that she's like releasing, right?
We're going full Captain Planet on this thing.
Yeah.
He's a hero. Healing the earth with our efforts. We're going Greta Thunberg on this thing.
Oh no! Don't do that.
We should have Margox say "How dare you" many times.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Like make her like this impetulant, childish, just like Greta. And just give her a braid on the side.
Yeah.
Could her full name be Margox Greta Braid? Is that Margox?
I love it. We actually don't want world saving in the first story arc.
Okay.
Because there's nowhere to go from there.
An amazing save the earth victory to start off, and after that it's just petty crimes that they're fighting.
Yeah. What?
Like any issue after that, any plotline, they're always referencing. Remember the time we saved the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
World.
If we're going with pure comedy on this, then that actually is a funny way to go. If they save the world for their first thing and then they never get past saving the city after that, that's pretty funny.
What else? So limit on scope.
I love the idea of an establishing shot of like under a bridge, a cardboard box, and it's like HQ.
Like a dog sitting on it and stuff like that.
How much of this do you want to be funny? How much of it do we want to take it seriously?
Like it started off as like a fun experiment. I think it should kind of be funny, like like a good amount of comedy. That's kind of my
Heavy on the comedy, heavy on the action. And it's we're going to keep a localized adventure at first, which will be with them in their halfway house. The villain is going to be trying to kill Cezanne, so we've got sort of that covered.
That's a great start.
Peace.